NRG was a team that was pretty dominant on Bind throughout the 2023 season. After falling short versus Loud in the VCT Americas playoff, they headed into Tokyo to not only win, but help Americas gain a bonus slot for Champions LA, the first major championship LAN on NA's home turf and one of the grandest stages at the Kia Forum. So what went wrong that a team throughout the VCT 2023 season that showed itself as a strong anchor for NA goes from this to this. In this video, we will be going over NRG's mistakes on the map, while also taking a deeper look at overall macro for Bind that any team can take and build upon going forward into 2024 and beyond. First things first, let's take a look at NRG's stats on Bind throughout 2023. Through the VCT Americas season, they were pretty dominant on the map, going 4-1 with a 56% total round win rate and a 57% win rate on defense. For Masters Tokyo, the first major event of the year with international competition, this is where they sort of fell short, with a 46% total win rate on the map, 41% win rate being on defense. And if we specifically look at the bracket stage after teams were seeded from groups, they went 0-2 on the map with a 37% total win rate and a 25% win rate on defense, cutting their overall success of this map essentially in half. So the question you ask yourself is, why such a massive drop off? And this deals relatively with two major concepts related to the macro strategy of Bind. The team sort of started to get the idea of, but didn't really handle efficiently at all. And this is every team in America relatively throughout 2023. And those two rules are as follows. One is the rule of thirds. The other one is the use of teleporter and blitzing through them. First major point, what is the rule of thirds? So for any post plant or retake to be successful, you must hold 2 out of the 3 following locations on each bomb site. On A site, you're looking at showers, short, and lamps. On B site, you're looking at hookah, long, and elbow. And if you ask yourself, why 2 out of 3? Why must we hold 2? Well, you can attribute to each of these locations being equal to a 33% chance of winning. Holding 2 of them puts your team at high odds around a 66% chance versus the opponent if they hold 1 with only a 33% shot or chance to convert the round. For this point, we'll look at both an offensive and defensive round by NRG to see how they choose to play into these positions on both post plant and retake scenario. So the first clip here is an offensive round. It is round 4. And the first stage of this round plays out perfectly fine. NRG plays an A exec with the possibility of a cancel to B given information at hand, and they choose to take it. Now remembering the rule of thirds, we have hookah control here. We know someone TP'd from long back over to A, so we can assume that long is probably relatively safe, and we can take elbow control because they gave up sight. Sam is given bomb priority to get his ult as a late round win condition, and he can then fall back to long after planting the bomb to play his ult for that reason. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is PRX plays a heavy flood comp. They are fine with retaking because they will simply just re-exec on you through the use of their mid-range utility of Sky and Gecko, and they have Jing, probably one of the best, if not the best, Raze player in all of VCT last year. The key part to stop teams from counter-execing is to get deep space control. So again, focusing on the rule of thirds, elbow is important here. Yet after bomb is planted, all players fall to long to play post plant, leaving Crashies alone on an island back site. Regardless of how Forsaken having a freak round here plays out, no elbow control takes all site presence away and allows PRX to be comfortable re-execing on NRG to secure the round. The ideal best case scenario here is on bomb plant, Crashes and Victor go to elbow from transition, FNS and Sam then play long, and Artist can re-enable hookah control through the use of a teleporter. This takes all advantage away from PRX and drastically reduces their ability to have retake success on this site. The next round we'll look at is a defensive round. It's round 20, and we're on a bit of an even buy here. FNS early ults to take long away. Again, remembering the rule of thirds. We have long, we have hookah, which is kind of given to the offensive side as sort of a given just due to how this map plays out. And then you have elbow. So FNS takes one of the three under his control. But at this point in the match and previous, this style of exec by PRX is known and it should be relatively solved. They don't take elbow priority, they work CT to cut off rotations, and then they get settled for post bomb plant once they have done so. NRG has 1/3 of the locations controlled. PRX has the other third of the location controlled, being hookah, leaving one completely open. So right now, both teams are relatively even in terms of their site advantage. But the pressure made by PRX in this moment allowed them to take the edge in that advantage and convert this round to a win for them, going up 11-9. The biggest problem with this round, though, that it presents or brings to the table is the next concept that I want to talk about that works in addition to the rule of thirds, and that's using the teleporters to blitz on the opponent. So for a quick kind of breakdown, if you follow American football, this term may be familiar to you, but in the case you aren't, let's talk about it. Blitzing in football isn't something that you do every single play possible on defense because it makes you predictable, but you can use it on occasion to switch up the tempo on an offense and make them account for more options, thus slowing them down. Some of the best defensive minds in the sport use it very sparingly and with a lot of conditioning and setup that offenses have to think about. But when they do choose to implement the play, offenses get completely taken out of their game plan. The way you make this matter on bind is if you see a team comfortable with 4-1 splits into hookah or 3-2 splits into A short and showers, you can utilize these teleporters to blitz and trap the opponent into a situation they then have to account for going forward. This allows you to further control or regain the key contested areas on defense, which increases your odds at converting rounds to your favor. Most importantly, you can slow aggro comps down to account for it. PRX loves this 4-1 exec or this 3-2 exec through hookah. You can immediately shut them down and punish them for it and make them rethink how their approach is. So why is the use of teleporters significant for NRG? Well, they utilized it one time versus Fnatic, which was Victor committing a solo play. There wasn't really any trap idea in mind. And they only used this, or the teleporters, 3 times total versus PRX. One being a non-trap rotation play, one being an accidental round where Victor had no choice but to take it, or he would die and they would give up an early death for no reason. And then the final round was an attempt at a trap, but there was little commitment or coordination to actually punish PRX, and this led to 2 bad deaths by both Victor and FNS on them exiting the teleporter. This lack of pressure by NRG and constant rotations through CT allowed PRX to have free reign on their B execs. This resulted in NRG going 0-5 on retakes for B site, and when you look back at a defensive half that NRG went 4-8 on, it's a pretty significant deal. This resulted in them losing this map and this series versus PRX, and to me sort of started the movement of this roster inevitably falling out. It'll be interesting to see how NRG chooses to rebound going into 2024, with Americas as a region only growing in strength. You have teams like Sentinels, Furia, and Leviathan looking revitalized. You have G2 entering from Ascension, and existing teams showing their relevance still in the scene. They have a lot of their work cut out for them. Overall though, I hope this video helps you see the weaknesses that led to NRG's loss, and it helps you improve your ranked premier or team gameplay experience going forward into 2024. There were a lot of concepts here that were sort of simplified that I could go further in depth on, but I didn't want to make this video 20 to 25 minutes long. It's kind of just a new thing I'm testing out to see if it's something, you know, everyone enjoys, where we can still target the huge core concepts of a map while bringing quick fire examples that aren't just me giving a play-by-play as to what happened. Bind essentially seems to be in the rotation for a pretty long period of time going forward, so these are concepts that you want to make sure you have the protocols worked out for. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this though. For more analytical breakdowns and insights into Valorant, make sure to like this video and comment, and most importantly subscribe, as it supports me greatly. Hope you have a great rest of your day, night, morning, wherever you are. Till next time, when they're out.